What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we're going to be taking you through another slapping build with the Sanguine Alchemy Warlock, which I am calling the Riftler, because we can stand in that rift, get extended time in it, get extended damage on our weapons, causing some juicy magoosey aspects of our rifts. So hashtag Riftler Warlock should be trending on X ASAP. All jokes aside, we got ourselves blood magic. While standing in a rift, damaging targets will mark it. You deal extra damage to marked targets and gain bonus damage to weapons that have a matching damage type as our equipped super. For us, we're going to be using void weapons as well as that Nova Bomb on Prismatic Warlock. Weapon final blows while standing in a rift pause the countdown and extend its duration. So absolutely disgusting aspect of it, because we can get that damage on our weapons almost consistently as long as we're getting defeats, and with the weapon combo that we got, it is super easy to get that to proc and have our rift up almost consistently. Like I said, we got ourselves our Prismatic Warlock, so we're gonna have the Nova Bomb going on for our void weapons, as well as this is pretty solid with DPS. As for rifts, totally up to you. I think I would use Empowering Rift if you're using Devour like I am, but you can also go with a Healing Rift, which I did have on in the gameplay just to see how they were feeling. But rifts, totally up to you. Either one works. You're just going to do a little bit of more damage with this, but we're already getting ×4 damage no matter what with the Sanguine Alchemy chest piece, so that healing aspect, not a bad option. So Balance Glide with Chain Lightning, this is totally up to you. I like it for the jolting aspect of it. Vortex Grenade for me, also a very good choice in my personal opinion, adds the aspects that I was looking for on this build, giving us even more of that damage with the weakening, as well as using this for the Bleak Watcher turrets that we're gonna have for the stasis, slow, freezing, etc. That synergy that we have with the artifact, everything on this season. Like I said, I personally am going to be using Feed the Void as well, because it's going to give us Devour, so even when we're not in our rift, we're going to be able to stay alive. Plus we get grenade energy, which will help us to get back our Void Grenade for that weakening, as well as the Bleak Watcher aspect. So little positive feedback loop for all three of these. First off, for our Prismatic Fragments, we're going to have a Facet of Courage, which Arc Solar Void abilities deal more damage to targets affected by stasis or that stranded debuffs. So for us, we're gonna have both our grenade as well as our melee do more damage to those stasis affected targets. Like I said, our void grenade is going to weaken those targets, so very good for DPS aspect on bosses, champions, etc. Facet of Ruin, that stasis shard and frozen enemy explosion, gonna do a little bit more damage, a little bit more ad clear potential with it, if you will, because of Facet of Ruin right here, all tying back to our Bleak Watcher. Facet of Awakening right here, we're gonna get that bunch of elemental pickups, if you will, void, arc, stasis on this, as well as just a bunch of elemental pickups. So love the combination of this with the build. And then last but not least, we got Facet of Hope. While we do have an elemental buff, our class ability comes back more quickly, so another way to get our rift back very fast. And for us, we're gonna have Devour on this build up almost consistently, Facet of Hope almost consistently, therefore healing rift up almost consistently as well. So that is why the Riftler reigns supreme. Now, when we move on to our mods and build that we're going out, triple 100s in our Discipline, Recovery, as well as Resilience. For me, I would probably go with Recovery as number 1, so we can have that Sanguine Alchemy and the Riftler be procced all the time. Resilience at number 2, with Discipline at number 3. Now, for mods, we're gonna have the Special Ammo Finder for weapon that we're gonna be using, as well as Kinetic Siphon, Harmonic Siphon, creating orbs of power everywhere for us, so we can get our super back very quickly. Bolstering Detonation grants us class ability energy when we do damage with our grenade. Another way that we're going to get class ability back when we do damage with our melee, so little positive feedback loop there. And then we are also causing damage with our grenade, really reduces melee cooldown, so another way for us to add jolt and just farm our abilities with our rift, grenade, as well as our melee. For me, totally up to you, whatever type of content you're going into. Sniper resistance, arc resistance, void resistance, totally up to you. Like I said, recuperation, orbs of restoration, absolution right here. Abilities all coming back when we get orbs of power. Our least amount of energy also getting refilled, so adding to our grenade rift melee spam of this build. Recuperation getting our health back, with bomber getting our grenade back when we use that rift, as well as reaper creating more orbs of power, as well as powerful attraction, being able to have our rift back, throwing it down constantly. All those orbs of power just going to attract to us, so we don't gotta run out and get them. When we move on to our weapons that we're gonna be using, we're gonna be using the Wither Horde, absolutely disgusting. Gonna be using it for overload. The Brea's Love, shoot to loot, so all of those orbs of power that we don't collect with our powerful attraction, all of those ammo bricks around, we're gonna be able to shoot them up, as well as that explosive payload. A cosmic as well, Withering Gaze with Cascade Point, more for the Cascade Point, but we're gonna get that ×4 weapon damage boost on both of these weapons when we're standing in our rift, so very good to the damage aspect, as well as adding to the ad clear side of things, especially with something like this Brea's Love scout rifle and stunning champions with this build. Pretty nice. We're going to be able to get those unstoppables with our Bleak Watcher turrets, so this build can be taken really into anything. Last but not least, we got our Apothecary Satchel. Of course, we're going to be using anti-barrier scout for that Brea's Love. We're going to have overload breach grenade launcher for our Wither Horde. Rapid impact, causing damage with that grenade launcher, gains us that reload speed of both our heavy as well as Wither Horde. Going to get that to proc. Killing breeze right here. Rapid final blows gives us increase to mobility. Not too shabby in my personal opinion. After finishing a powerful combatant, we're going to get damage resistance, so this will be more for that end game content when you're using it on champions, mini bosses, etc. Trace evidence, those jolted targets that we're getting with our melee, going to give us some ionic traces. Nice little bit of extra oomph for the build. Shattering stasis crystals, release stasis shards that damage or slows combatants. For us, we're going to have that Bleak Watcher turret giving us this, definitely a good aspect of the build. Finishers emit a wave that matches the element that you are currently equipped with, so we're going to create a volatile wave on finishers. Concussive reloader, definitely good for weakening those bosses, champions, breaking combatant shields with either the Wither Horde or with our heavy, allowing us to do even more damage output. Kinetic impacts, causing our heavy is going to get a nice little bit of juice with the ad clear side of things, damage aspect, as well as stunning unstoppable champions. And then of course Arc Void as well as weapons are going to have a bonus damage to targets affected by stasis debuffs. So for us, we're going to have slow freeze because of our Bleak Watcher turrets. So our Arc and Void ability, which our grenade and melee are both going to fall into that, as well as both of our weapons for our grenade launcher as well as our scout rifle are void, so going to have that proc. Super nice little feedback that we have with this build. Very fun, causing the Riftler mewing just like the kids say, you know what I am. The Riftler is back and he is never gonna leave. This Warlock build, very fun. Sanguine Alchemy, definitely a little fun build. Nothing too crazy about it, obviously, but you can take it into any type of content. It is the trusty dusty, just like Travis Kelce, making catches no matter what. This will carry you through content. Just got to switch off and on your weapons depending on the bosses that you're going into, shields, etc. But we do love the combination of this build right here, so really like it. Very fun. The Riftler lives on, and hopefully y'all can try this build out. Let me know what you think of it. Warlocks definitely got some juice this season, but really think that Stasis Titans as well as Stasis Hunters are living their best lives this episode. So really appreciate you guys for coming back to the channel. As always, don't be afraid to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell if you haven't, so you get those notifications. Helps me out, helps the channel out a bunch as well as we do got a Discord, so don't be afraid to join that up. We got LFGs in there, we got some talks, we got XYZ, we got all of my builds posted in there as well. So appreciate all you guys. Again, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.